offences in respect to which liability to conviction may be discharged by a payment of a fixed penalty. This table starts on page 276 of the Road Traffic Regulations 2022. On the left, the first column is a brief description of the offense. Second column at the center is the relevant regulation, and the third column, the penalty. We will concentrate on the offense and penalties here. Operating a motor vehicle where the exhaust or smoke from the engine causes a nuisance to or obstructs the vision of other road users, and the exhaust pipe or silencer is in such a position that oil or other flammable liquid or material can drip or fall onto the exhaust pipe or silencer. It is so placed and maintained that exhaust or smoke leaks into the driving cab or passenger compartment of the vehicle. It is not in good working order, and which, when tested, exceeds the limit specified in the Jamaica Motor Vehicle Exhaust Emission Standards. Penalty, $10,000. Fitting a lamp to the motor vehicle or using a lamp so fitted in contravention of regulations. So these extremely bright lights that people are putting on their vehicles, sometimes blinding road users coming in the opposite direction, wrong colored lights, flashing lights where they should not be, and vehicles that should not have them. Penalty, $10,000. Operating motor vehicle fitted with spot lamp which can be adjusted to enable beam of light emitted from the lamp to be deflected in any direction, $10,000. Operating motor vehicle fitted with or which displays a lamp or lamps emitting a blue light or which is capable of emitting a blue light, $15,000. You know, these lamps can trick other road users at night, thinking that the police or ambulance or some emergency vehicle is coming behind them, and can cause other people to stop, and robbers can take advantage of those things. Using a revolving lamp in contravention of regulation, $10,000. Direction indicator fitted to motor vehicle in contravention of regulation, $5,000. Direction indicators, though, would be the indicators, flashing indicators. Right? Uses or operates a motor vehicle that requires a special permit without obtaining such special permit, $50,000. Breach of any term or condition of a special permit under Regulation 113, $30,000. Providing the services of a driving instructor without being certified to do so by the authority, $40,000. So you're not supposed to be teaching somebody to drive. They don't have a driver's license, and you're using the public road to do that. That is an offense that can attract a penalty of $40,000. While acting as a driving instructor, using a motor vehicle that is not covered by a motor vehicle insurance policy, which includes coverage for the provision of driving instruction. So If you are a registered driving instructor, you must have the relevant insurance to cover that vehicle. Penalty, $30,000. Permitting another person while acting as a driving instructor to use a motor vehicle that is not covered by a motor vehicle insurance policy, which includes coverage for the provision of the driving instruction. So you are the owner of that vehicle and you allow a driving instructor to use it without the necessary insurance cover or coverage. The penalty, $30,000. Operating a driving school without being licensed so to do by the authority, penalty, $50,000. Failure to prominently display licensed or certified copy of license at principal office of the driving school or in a part of the principal office to which the public has access, and at each branch of the driving school, $10,000. Using a motor vehicle to damage road sign, penalty, $50,000. Stopping a motor vehicle at any point within 12 meters, 12 meters would be about 40 feet, of either side of a bus stop sign erected pursuant to these regulations, where such point is upon the same road upon which the sign is erected, penalty, $10,000. So in that case, you must not be picking up somebody within 40 feet of a bus stop. While on a road that is not a main road, using a vehicle other than a motor vehicle with metal tires, that is a roller, or other equipment equipped in the construction and maintenance or repair of a road. So while on a road that is not a main road, using a vehicle to travel backwards for a greater distance or time than may be necessary for the safety or reasonable convenience of the occupants of that vehicle, other road users, and traffic on the road, penalty, $5,000. So there's a law against unnecessarily long reversing on a main road. That of course can and has caused accidents. Selling, distributing, or using a photographic image or video recording captured by an electronic enforcement device other than for the purpose of prosecution of the offense under Part 4, $5,000. So distributing a image or video captured other than for the purpose of prosecution of an offense. So that's the video or picture from an electronic enforcement device. That could be a camera used to catch those who speed and so on, or otherwise break the rules of the road or the law. Driving a motor vehicle which causes a sound which emits or exceeds the noise limit, $10,000. So that is for those who make excessive noise with their vehicles. Using a vehicle to tow a broken down or disabled vehicle in contravention of regulations 249 part 1, $10,000. using an articulated motor vehicle to draw a trailer. It's like you have a tractor trailer drawing a trailer, or an articulated bus drawing a trailer behind it. $20,000. Towing a motor vehicle on a toll road by means other than a tow truck, $20,000. So you're not supposed to be towing another vehicle unless you're using a tow truck to do it. Using a motor tractor to draw more than 2 trailers at any one time, penalty $30,000. Right? Only 1 trailer should be drawn. Using a truck to draw more than 1 trailer at any one time, penalty $30,000. Using a car to draw a trailer, the unladen weight of which equals or exceeds the unladen weight of the drawing vehicle, $30,000 is the penalty. So if you're using a car to draw something behind it, a trailer, it shouldn't be equal to or heavier than the car. Operating on a road, a motor vehicle, laden or unladen, the overall height of which exceeds 4.2 meters measured from the ground. 4.2 meters, that would be about 15 feet. Penalty $20,000. Operating a motorcycle on a road where goods carried thereon projects more than prescribed, penalty $10,000. Operating on a road, a motor vehicle or trailer where the load on the motor vehicle or trailer projects more than 15 centimeters. That would be about 6 inches beyond either side of the motor vehicle or trailer without the use of a required warning device to indicate the extent of the projection, penalty $30,000. Operating on a road, a motor vehicle or trailer where the load on the motor vehicle or trailer projects more than 30 centimeters, that is more than 1 foot, beyond the rear of the motor vehicle or trailer without the use of the required warning device to indicate the width or length of the projection, penalty $50,000. Operating a motor vehicle specified in Regulation 259, Part 1. A. Time when the motor vehicle cannot be clearly discerned at a distance of 150 meters. B. If the overall width of the motor vehicle exceeds 3.5 meters. C. If the overall length of the motor vehicle exceeds that as specified in Regulation 32, or if the overall width extends that specified in Regulation 33. That means the motor vehicle is too long or too wide. Penalty $50,000. Carrying passenger on motorcycle with sidecar on a part of the body of the motorcycle rather than within the sidecar, $5,000 is a penalty. Sitting or traveling or permitting a person to sit or travel on or with the load being transported by a motor vehicle or vehicle. This would seem to be saying that you have a pickup with load in the back and somebody sitting on the load or with the load, the penalty $5,000. Traveling on or permitting a person to travel or drive in or on a motor vehicle or trailer in such a manner that a part of the body protrudes beyond the side or rear of the body of the vehicle. That means part of the person is sticking out beyond the vehicle, or in that case the penalty is $5,000. Failure to use an emergency warning sign, $5,000. Failure to label protective devices, $5,000. A person who, being the holder of a valid certificate exempting that person from wearing a seatbelt, fails to have the certificate in that person's possession while driving a vehicle or riding a vehicle, as the case may be. For example, so in this case you have a certificate from a doctor saying that you are exempted, you should not be wearing a seatbelt. The police stops you, but you only tell the police, you tell the constable, but you don't have that certificate with you in the vehicle. The penalty is $5,000. Failure of driver or operator of vehicle to yield the right of way to an emergency vehicle, penalty $25,000. Right? Once the emergency vehicle is coming, siren on, light flashing, you should pull over and allow them to pass. Give them the right of way. Driving vehicle closer than 50 meters. 50 meters would be about 200 feet. No, not 200. 200 would be too much. A little over 150 feet. Right? Maybe 160 or so. Driving vehicle closer than 50 meters behind an emergency vehicle, or driving vehicle or stopping the vehicle within 100 meters of where an emergency vehicle has stopped, $5,000. 100 meters is really a long distance. You consider the 100-meter track, but anyway, you're not supposed to stop your vehicle within 100 meters of where an emergency vehicle has stopped. Without the consent of a constable or other duly authorized person controlling traffic, or the superintendent or other officer of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, driving a vehicle which is not an emergency vehicle over any hose of the Jamaica Fire Brigade when such hose is laid on a road for use at a fire, or stopping or parking a vehicle which is not an emergency vehicle at a point within 3 meters of either side of a fire hydrant. 3 meters are about 10 feet of a fire hydrant, penalty $5,000. Right? You mustn't stop within 10 feet or 3 meters of a fire hydrant. B. Stopping or parking a vehicle which is not an emergency vehicle at a point within, yes, I just read that. Transporting dangerous goods while carrying passenger who is not a qualified person, $25,000 is a penalty. Transporting dangerous goods without being certified to do so, penalty $20,000. Carrying dangerous goods without the transport emergency card and manifests required by Part 5 are not producing such transport emergency cards and manifests upon the request of a constable or other authorized persons, penalty $170,000. Failure of consignor or consignee to inform the police of the route where radioactive or infectious goods will be transported at least 5 days before the goods are transported. Penalty $25,000. So those are some offenses and their penalties under the Road Traffic Regulations 2022.